We are at number 34. And on that spot, we have another blast from the past. We have Siegbert Tarrasch, born in 1862 in Breslau, province of Silesia. That's Schlesien? Kingdom of Prussia. Nowadays, that would be Poland, and he died in 1934, aged 71. Peter, Tarrasch, what do we think?
Well, we think he definitely, by sort of all means, deserves a spot in the Chess Hall of Fame. He played for the World Championship once in 1908, but that was actually after the peak of his career, and he lost by a clear margin with minus 5 points to Lasker at the time. And we think the main reason he really belongs in the Hall of Fame is that for almost 10 years, for more than 9 years, he was the second ranked player in the world. And you also see his peak rating was as much as 28, 24. I mean, his main problem was that he was just dominated by Lasker at Lasker's peak, and he was sort of unlucky in that sense. Also, I mean, I think in 1892, he could have been maybe the best player in the world and had the chance probably to challenge Steinitz, but he decided to turn it down due to his medical profession in that sense. So he was an incredibly strong player, but he didn't give sort of chess his full attention, at least not sort of career-wise, in the sense that he was also a practicing doctor. And then when he finally got his chance and such, it was after the peak of his career, and he wasn't able to put up a fight against Lasker. But it's the kind of guy that if it wasn't because that Lasker was there and Lasker was such a dominating factor, he could have been the world best player for actually quite a long period. Instead, he was the world's second best player for basically 10 years.
Yeah, he's also, I don't know, he's a big name in German chess history because of his writings. I haven't studied in detail, but he was also in this feud with Nimzowitsch over theories and stuff. Maybe it went hand in hand at the time a bit, that you're just branding yourself as a writer and trying to promote your theories. I don't know if that was a priority for him or if playing was.
That at least was what I read from sort of what they wrote in Denmark about Nimzowitsch, that this was the way. I mean, as you couldn't really qualify like we have a system for nowadays, then you could, you have to brand yourself in one way. And then, by stating your theories and a system or, whatever it was here, you try to make a claim for it. And especially, Tarrasch would have to challenge Lasker at some point. Then it makes sense to do it in a German debate. And they had a fierce rivalry in that way. I think also, I mean, there is this famous quote by Tarrasch that sort of, to Lasker, I only speak 3 words. It's check and mate and such. So there was a lot of these things going on for sure. But yeah, witty, certainly, and very short and to the point German style, right? But no, I agree with you. There was this rivalry with Nimzowitsch, and maybe now we think as Nimzowitsch having maybe the bigger influence, but also, Nimzowitsch was, I guess, later, so he was the one who could have sort of a bit of the final word in the debate. Also, maybe we just compensate for Tarrasch actually having a better career, which means that we would put more point more to Nimzowitsch as a rider, because simply he had a less strong career than Tarrasch, and Tarrasch had more of both things. I don't know if it could be something like that, for instance.
Yeah, I'm also a bit confused that I think Tarrasch gets a bit of a bad rap for being a very dogmatic guy, insisting on his principles. But his principles might have been sounder, or at least some of them, than Nimzowitsch principles, like, okay, develop the pieces, play actively, that kind of stuff. It wasn't that controversial, no?
Yeah, it almost sounds like branding, right? Well, you would rather be hyper-modern than dogmatic or something like that, right? But, it matters who you are, right, not how you brand things and such. And I agree with you that, Nimzowitsch was not wrong at all, and right at all in everything, and it was not like Tarrasch was wrong. So, I mean, I'm not qualified to say who won that debate. Typically, both had its points and could point to specific examples that where their rules were better than the other ones, and so forth, right?
Yeah. So basically, we have a guy with longevity who maybe at some point in this very brief window in the early 1890s is the best player in the world. Then he gets blocked by Lasker, but probably by no one else, and that together makes a decent claim, I guess, for 34.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. I mean, it's 10 years in the top. You play a world championship match. You should probably have played another one where you might have had a chance of winning and such. It's, when you look at it from far away, maybe it's not so much. But if you are in the present time, he would be a huge character. I mean, I don't know who you could come up with in modern times, but it's a lot of things for quite a while, I think. So,
are you saying Tarrasch is Caruana?
Yeah, I was thinking exactly that. Then I decided it's a stupid comparison, but it's good we have you to force me to finish bad thoughts. Mm-hmm. But yeah, let's see how it turns out for Caruana. Best of luck to him, sort of. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. This game that we chose is Tarrasch with the white pieces against Emanuel Lasker from their 1908 World Championship match. Both a little past their prime at this point, but maybe still the world's two strongest players. That I do not know.
Yeah,
what's
that's also. It's a bit like you would. I mean, their primes coincide too much, which is bad for the worst part of that, right? I mean, it's like it's better for you that even if you are the weaker player. I mean, if there is some considerable age of peak difference, then you have a chance to shine at some point at least. But he seems to be just kind of dominated by Lasker, right?
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, the Berlin, but not the real Berlin they're playing.
Yeah, 96. The main move, Bishop e7 is not bad, though. Like, some modern top players still play this, no?
Yeah, occasionally.
Regularly, but it does show up.
Yeah.
Queen e2, 96, and this funny knight to b7, which has never become very trendy, but it's not a really ridiculous line. Black has the two bishops, wants to fight.
Well, exactly. Two bishops, you have the center. There is a huge potential in this, but,
yeah, not a theory debate. Both sides are making sound moves. Not sure about rook e1 combined with knight d4, but he wanted to fight against d6, I guess.
Yeah, maybe ed6 is simple, but still, I mean, no, that's maybe very logical. You're right. The next move is sort of. Well, here, wouldn't you make an argument that you would like to put pressure on the pawns? But he does something completely different, actually, which is quite nice, and also what the computer suggests.
He takes, just saying, I only need this one weakness with opposite bishops.
These pawns are awkward in a sense, right? Because you can't really improve the situation because the pawn on c5 is weak, and if you push it forward, you get the d4 square for the bishop. If you play d5, then the c4 pawn is hanging. So somehow they are stuck a bit there, right? And he fixes
them. No, it's a simple game, but nice and clear.
Kasparov is praising it and saying that maybe it's even the best game in the match or something like that. And you have to appreciate the simplicity to get to that. But I think the problem is that it starts collapsing structurally for black, and h3 is a nice move that somehow gives a bit of what do you call luft for the king, right?
Tactics.
Yeah.
Big champion. That's his trick.
And queen d2, rook d2 doesn't make a difference. Yeah, so, that's just a stupid comment.
Queen g6, and now he picks up the pawn. Converts it. Dry game, but that's his reputation. Dry, dogmatic guy.
He does have combinations, but we just thought that somehow having a game where he just positionally outplay him, Lasker, in the match, and looks like the much stronger player, has a lot of point to be mentioned.
Absolutely, yeah. Nice game. He goes on to lose that match, as mentioned, which, maybe was his burden to carry. The Lasker was just better, but he could play. Is that all we got on Dr. Siegbert Tarrasch?
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.